The 2006 Junior World Rally Championship has gone right down to the wire. 4 young drivers have arrived in Wales for the season finale with a real chance of claiming the title. Per Anderson thought he'd done enough to take the title last time out in Turkey until a post-event exclusion for illegal servicing. The Swede unsuccessfully pleaded his innocence at an appeal with the FIA, but does have a second chance this weekend.
Tuesday I was frustrated, but now I just concentrate on the rally and to not lose too much energy. You can't think about the FIA rules and the court of appeal. So now it's just the rally. I'm even hungry now, and 2-time champion in 1 year, that's not too bad.
Anderson's misfortune saw the win in Turkey awarded to Ermo Ava. The 10 points saw him elevated to the top of the championship table, but he's well aware the title is not won yet.
At the moment I'm not thinking so much that championship, just want to make a good rally and set again a lot of good times. So I think if I think like that, everything is possible.
Just 2 points behind Ava is Patrick Sandell. The Swede has impressed on his debut season to give himself a real chance of continuing the tradition of drivers winning the title in their first year.
I'm happy with the season so far, and this rally is not like the most important rally for me. I'm happy with the season, and as usual, it's not me. The pressure is on the other guys, because they have to win. They have been doing the championship for many years, and for me it's just fun to be in the battle, and we're gonna do the best of it.
Well, for the second successive year, Guy Wilkes has kept his championship hopes alive until the final round. He knows a win at his home event could give himself a real chance of claiming the top prize.
You just got to go out on the first stage and see who's doing what. You know, somebody could go herring off and everybody's got to try and catch them. That's the thing. They know, PG and Ermo know they've got to stay close to me. So if I'm in a position to lead the rally, they've got to be setting the same pace. So there could be some tactics played this weekend.
A win, though, may not be enough to secure the title for Wilkes. He trails the leader by 4 points, while a victory for Ava, Anderson or Sandell would do for them. Joseph Perez and Chris Meek also have a mathematical, if slim, chance. So the Wales Rally GB has returned to its traditional end-of-season slot. There are 16 stages through the forests of southern Wales and a super special in the impressive Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. The service park is 72 kilometres away in Swansea. And it's Cardiff that provides the backdrop for the official start ramp, with Ermo Ava first across as the championship leader. Classic Rally GB conditions ahead for the start of the first stage the following morning. Damp, muddy roads and hanging fog will make this a real challenge. And it's Ermo Ava then who's in the unfamiliar position of leading the 16 crews competing away. A win would secure the championship for the Estonian. He's up against some very stiff competition this weekend, including, of course, Per Anderson. Swede then says he's even hungrier to claim the title for the second time after having the championship snatched from his grasp in Turkey. It's a great start from the Suzuki driver. He's nearly 15 seconds quicker than Ava on stage 1. So the Estonian will need to improve if he's to challenge for the win he needs. But there's a problem with his steering on stage 2. He's gone straight on, and that could be the end of his championship hopes right here.
Yeah, on the first stage we cut it a little bit the corner too deep and a little bit bent it steering arm, and now it snapped on the second one, so nothing to do.
So that's one championship hopeful already out of the picture. Guy Wilkes, meanwhile, beats his teammate Anderson by 3.5 seconds on the opening test to take the early lead despite a smashed rear windscreen. On stage 2, though, his lead is shaved to just 2.3 seconds. Patrick Sandell has taken the sensible approach on his debut on this unique event. The Swede is holding station in 4th, driving well within himself, but still close enough to the leading drivers to take advantage should they slip up. And it doesn't take long for that to happen. Attacking this hard, Anderson has left himself with very little margin for error, and contact with a rock has caused a puncture. It's actually the 3rd year in a row PG has got a flat tyre on the Riola stage, so it's all too familiar for the Swede. Luckily for Anderson, though, Wilkes too has got a puncture, and he's lost 2.5 minutes.
You were leading coming in. You've lost time. What happened?
Picked the punch up as a rock dragged down a right-hand, a very narrow piece of road, and we clipped it, and it was flat instantly. We had to stop and change it. It was 5Ks in, nothing we could do. And then, unluckily, we had 2 soft tyres in the rear, and we had the front to back in the stage. Bit of a disaster, to be honest.
Chris Meek suffered his own puncture on the first stage, but he's been on a flyer since, setting the fastest times on the following 2 tests. It's enough to see the Ulsterman storm into the lead following the Suzuki driver's misfortune. There's bad news though for the 6th driver with championship aspirations. Slovakian champion Joseph Perez is forced to stop on stage 3 with a broken gearbox. Only 3 stages in, but it's already been an eventful morning. Meek leads by just under half a minute ahead of Anderson, with Sandell 3rd and Jan Mulder a fine 4th. Their inaugural rookie class trophy for drivers in their first year in a non-Super 1600 cars will be decided in Wales. Andrea Cortinovis begins the rally 2 points ahead of Barry Clark. Clark, though, is competing on his home event, and it's been an impressive start for the Scot. He's a long way ahead of Cortinovis and up to 8th overall at the end of leg 1, as he passes James Wozencroft, who stopped to change a wheel. Luca Betti is running 6th. The Italian is more comfortable on sealed surfaces, but after a frustrating season, he's determined to finish the year with a strong points finish. Patrick Sandell, meanwhile, is still driving at 80%. With so many people hitting problems already, the Swede is unwilling to take risks. He's well aware that there is still a long way to go yet. Fatty Kara is making a great Rally GB debut. Like so many others, he too suffered a puncture earlier, but the 4th fastest time on the final stage of the day sees him pass Sandell. While Jan Mulder too has saved his best performance of the year until the final round, he's running just over 20 seconds ahead of Kara, giving himself a real chance of claiming his first podium finish. Back with the front runners meanwhile, and Anderson's day is showing no sign of improving. He's got another puncture on stage 4, and the minute he loses this time, see him fall from 2nd to 4th.
PG, another puncture. It's a day of them for you.
It seems like. Yeah.
You've just got to stay on the road though. You can't let it get to you. You just got to concentrate, keep it together.
Yeah, it's just full concentration, and when you're staying in the middle of the road and you still get a puncture, so it's proper rally.
With his championship challenge falling apart, the Swede's anger's obviously spilling over. His teammate Wilkes, meanwhile, was 2nd fastest behind the fired up Chris Meek on stage 4. And he's now very much back in the fight for 2nd. Back with Anderson, and his mood is unlikely to improve here. This time it's his suspension that's causing the problem. And on the last test of the afternoon, it finally collapses under the strain. That is the end of his day and a disaster for his title challenge.
PG, this is not looking good for your championship.
No, it was a good start this morning, but now the afternoon has been a terrible day.
Can you show us what's happened?
Yeah, on stage 5 something happened with the rear axle. It seems like it collapsed, so I had to start this stage with a loose rear axle, and it was going quite well the first 10k, and then it totally collapsed, and I still continued and just came back here. I got a front left puncture, and then I made a decision to stop.
With his teammate out of the picture for now, Guy Wilkes is now in the driving seat in the title race. Another terrific time on stage 5 saw him jump from 6th to 2nd. There is little Guy can do about this man though. Chris Meek has been on inspired form since his setback on the first stage. He's been quickest in all 3 tests this afternoon and now holds a commanding lead over his compatriot. It's just a shame it'll probably be too little too late in terms of the championship. Meek's advantage ahead of Wilkes is nearly 2 minutes, while Mulder is on course for his best ever finish in third. Anderson will restart tomorrow, but will begin leg 2 in ninth, outside the point scoring places. This is how the championship currently stands. Wilkes would win the title by 2 points ahead of Sandell. Anderson needs to score at least 5 points if the Brit remains in second.
Guys, second place at the moment, that's enough to win the championship for you, but it's been a strange old day today, hasn't it?
Yeah, very strange. We didn't really go out with the intention of being quickest on the first stage. We decided if we could stay out of trouble and keep with everybody who was leading, that you know, that would be a good policy.
It's been quite easy today. I've not been pushing at all, just avoid all the mistakes, and I know that a lot of people have been pushing hard today, and I've been driven on 80%. I know I can go up 10, no problem. I can go up 20 also, but then I'm also at the limit. But maybe I'm going up 10 tomorrow just to save going up on the podium, because if we're on the podium, it's gonna be good for the end.
Chris, like most people, you've had a pretty eventful day, but you managed to come through it leading the rally, so I guess you can't be too disappointed with today.
No, not disappointed at all. Fair enough, it was frustrating on the first stage today. We had a front puncture, big stone in the middle of the road, and we had to drive 7 k's, losing nearly a minute. But after that, out of the other 5 stages, we've been fastest, and the others have hit some problems as well. So, you know, the size of my lead is a bit artificial because of the problems everyone's having, but you know, I think we've been on a good pace today, so I'm quite happy.
It seems that punctures are defining the outcome of this season's JWRC title. There are still 2 long days ahead though, so expect plenty more twists and turns ahead. We'll be back with the conclusion of the championship after the break. Welcome back to the final round of the Junior World Rally Championship. We started the event with 6 drivers mathematically able to win the title here, but now we're down to 4, and one of those is Chris Meek. The Brit may be a big outsider for the championship, but he's doing all he can at the moment. He needs to win and hope his rivals will fall by the wayside. The Citroën driver starts where he left off last night, fastest on stage 7. Guy Wilkes is the man on course to claim the title at the moment, but there's a long way to go yet. He's 5.6 seconds slower than Meek on the opening test, but there are some concerns inside the car as they cross the finish line on this stage.
Guy second in the juniors coming in. It's all about just keeping that position and making sure the others don't get too close.
Yeah, it is, but the oil light was coming on all the way through the stage, just flashing intermittently. I don't know if it's just the parameters for the level, but so distracting when you're just trying to keep it clean and tidy and you keep seeing a bright red light flash in front of you. Never mind, you have to continue.
So Meek has the upper hand for now, and on the following stage, he's attacking hard again to reaffirm his advantage. Oh, but a mistake there and a big collision with a rock. He was desperate to finish the season on a high, but once again, his rally ends in disappointment.
Well, it's happened a few corners before. It was slid a little bit wide. The surface was very polished. It went into the next corner a little bit wide, and we've run wide and just touched this big stone, but it's touched it exactly on the wheel. So we're out of the rally, and okay, another mistake, another super rally. So I'm not pleased with myself, you know, for making this mistake, but okay.
Meek's misfortune sees Jan Mulder elevated to second, and the Estonian certainly there on merit. Patikara was running just over 20 seconds ahead of Mulder, and his fine run ends in dramatic fashion, rolling out on stage 8. Kara's exit is good news for Patrick Sandell. He's now up to third, and with Wilkes now leading, the move up the leaderboard will be very welcome.
Vänster 3, 120.
Further back though, Sandell's compatriot and fellow championship hopeful PG Anderson has restarted the morning in a determined frame of mind. He started back in 9th but has steadily crept up the leaderboard, and after Aaron Burkhardt suffers a puncture on stage 9, he's now up to 5th. It's PG Suzuki teammate Wilkes who remains in the driving seat for now, however. Concerns do remain about that oil warning light though, and when he finishes stage 9, there's definitely something seriously wrong. Further back, another Brit is having a tough time. Tom Walster is appearing as a wildcard entered by the local organisers in a Group N Ford Fiesta. But this mistake costs over 8 minutes getting the car back on the road. Wilkes' problems have indeed proved terminal to his hopes of a home win and probably his championship aspirations. Mulder is the new leader and it's now Sandell who is on course to claim the championship. While back at service, Wilkes is left to ponder on another lost opportunity.
Just differential problem. We don't know exactly what was a failure, but a failure in the differential. We don't know if it was a bearing or the crown wheel and pinion, but I think I tried so hard to get back to service. Pretty much the whole of the differential was destroyed, so we don't know.
On to the afternoon stages, and in the rookie class standings, it's still Barry Clark leading the way. He's also now on course to claim his first full JWRC point. The second local wildcard driver competing is James Wozencroft. The Stookie driver had a difficult opening leg, but has recovered well today. He's now up to 6th. One place ahead is Aaron Burkhardt. The German, like many others, is on his Rally GB debut, but he's looking good to claim his 4th points finish of the year. One man who hasn't had any problems scoring points this year is PG Anderson. The 2004 champion has been in terrific form today after restarting under Super Rally rules. He set 2 fastest stage times, and with so many retirements ahead of him, he's jumped from 9th to 4th in one day. Ahead of Anderson for now is Luca Betti. The Italian would love to claim his first podium finish here, but after losing nearly half a minute on one stage alone this afternoon, he knows he may struggle to hold on to his position tomorrow. While Patrick Sandell can be delighted with his tactics this weekend, not for the first time this season, his safety-first approach has proved a very wise option. The Swede is second, and provided he can stay ahead of Anderson, he will be the new Junior World Rally Champion tomorrow. Jan Mulder, meanwhile, has managed to hold off the attentions of the title-chasing Renault driver. The Estonian has beaten Sandell on 2 of the 3 stages this afternoon and is still on course to claim his first ever victory. Sandell fought back on the end of day super special to trim Mulder's lead to just 5.2 seconds going into the final leg, while Anderson will start day 3 23.7 seconds behind Betti. Even if PG can overhaul the Italian though, it still wouldn't be enough to claim the title. He needs his compatriot to hit problems tomorrow. As it stands, Sandell would win by a margin of 2 points.
As long as Patrick stays ahead of you, he'll win. I mean, is there much you can do about him tomorrow?
We'll see, we'll see. I haven't given up yet. It will be a victory or a big hole in the forest.
Well, Patrick, at the moment you're doing enough to win this championship, but this rally really is throwing up a few surprises. I mean, we've still got a long day tomorrow, haven't we?
Yeah, we have a really long day tomorrow, but our plan has been working very well so far. The first day was the plan to not do any mistakes, and it works. And today the plan was to maybe go up from 80 to 90% and push a little bit more, but not going on the limit, to try to climb some places, and we have done that. So tomorrow just try to keep the car on the road, but as you say, it's real tough.
Before the rally, we couldn't expect this kind of result, and of course all the top drivers have had a lot of problems, and that's why we are here. We have had no problems, and it's been quite good. I'm enjoying it.
On to the final day then, and just 4 more stages to come to decide the outcome of this year's Junior Championship. Mulder, though, has no concerns about the title race. The 19-year-old Estonian is just 112 kilometres away from the best finish of his fledgling career. While Patrick Sandell is under even more pressure. Like Mulder, this is Sandell's debut season in the JWRC, but the talented Swede, like Danny Sordo and PG Anderson before him, is on course to claim the JWRC title in his first year. Later in the stage though, and there's a problem for Mulder. He's done so well up to this point to avoid problems, but it's finally the Estonian's turn to get a puncture. This potentially is good news for the chasing Sandell, but with Mulder really struggling to keep the car on the road, the Swedes caught right up with the Suzuki driver. This will be infuriating for Patrick. He should take over the lead from Mulder, but he'll not want to concede too much time to PG Anderson. PG knows he has to get ahead of his compatriot to have any hope of claiming the title, and he takes advantage of Sandell's delay to make up a minute on his rival through this stage. Anderson's charge also sees Luca Betti relegated to 4th place. On to the following stage, and with Anderson on a mission this morning, Sandell can't afford to relax for a second.
Halvlång, kryper öppen 1 halvlång till öppen höger 1.
Oh, but that's a mistake from Patrick. The conditions are very slippery and he just seemed to arrive at that corner much too fast. So, it's the chance Anderson's been waiting for. The title race is suddenly tipping back in the direction of PG. Oh, but he's gone off too! A relatively slow speed incident, but once the car dropped down that bank, there's no way of retrieving it. And like Sandell before him, this could be the end of his championship hopes too.
It was 2.5 minutes behind Sandell. I had to push to try to get the championship back, and obviously I was trying a bit too hard down here and was to brake on the late in the braking, and just flew straight across over the bank and ended up down there.
Both Sandell and PG can register finishes if their cars can be carried back to service, incurring a 5-minute time penalty for each stage they miss. Anderson should now be out of the running, but depending on how many places Sandell will fall, Ermo Ava or Guy Wilkes could still potentially win the title. Whatever happens now, it's going to be a strange finale to the title race. Championship leader Ermo Ava has been very fast on the final leg. It will probably be too little too late, but he could still win the title if Sandell fails to get his car back to service. Oblivious to the dramas going on ahead, Barry Clark has kept his head on his home event and secured the first ever rookie class trophy. Fellow Brit James Wozencroft has finished the event strongly, but a puncture on the final stage sees the wildcard entrant fall to 6th. Aaron Burkhardt had already passed James on stage 16 to secure his first podium finish at a fine end to the German's debut season. This could well be Luca Betti's final appearance in the JWRC, so to finish in style with his best ever result of 2nd is a fitting way to end his time in the category. And from the oldest driver in the championship to the youngest, at 19 years of age, Jan Mulder is about to become the youngest ever driver to win a rally in the JWRC. He may have been fortunate with so many front-runners hitting problems, but it won't make the moment any less sweet. A moment to savour for the Estonian. In the end, Mulder wins by a margin of nearly 3 minutes ahead of Luca Betti, with Aaron Burkhardt rounding off the podium places. Crucially, Sandell should register a 5th place finish despite his crash to claim the title.
Yeah, and a fantastic way to finish your year. It's been a long and difficult weekend for everyone, but you've come through unscathed and won the rally. How does that feel today?
Yeah, of course it feels good. Everybody has had so many problems. Even we had 2 punctures, which cost us maybe 3 minutes of loss in time, but that's nothing compared to the things that the other guys have been through.
This season was very, very difficult for me in personality and in the season of sportive, and so it's a good result to give the farewell to the Junior World Rally Championship.
So that's it, you won't be able to come back again? We won't be seeing Luca Betti back in one of these cars?
I don't know now. I just finished the race and I have some months to think about it.
Sandell, meanwhile, is in the somewhat bizarre situation of winning the 2006 JWRC by recovering his car from the earlier roll.
How does it feel to be the 2006 Junior World Rally Champion?
If it is like that, it feels absolutely perfect. Maybe this is not the perfect way to finish it, but it's been a long season for us all, and if it is like that, I'm really happy.
There are no final dramas for Sandell, and he does indeed claim the title by just 1 point from Ermo Ava, with Anderson finishing 3rd. And confirmation that young Scott Barry Clark is the inaugural winner of the rookie class by virtue of his greater number of wins. So another first-time winner of the Junior World Rally Championship, and what a season it's been. 9 rounds over snow, ice, gravel and tarmac, with an unprecedented 8 different winners. We've certainly not seen the last of Patrick Sandell. He should be back to defend his title in 2007, which begins in the brand